So you're thinking about moving to the Coachella Valley? Well, this time I'm going to take you inside my computer and use a Google map to show you the different neighborhoods and cities that comprise the Coachella Valley and point out different highlights throughout the valley so you'll be informed about what to expect when you visit here. Stick around till the end because I'm going to also share the location of the airport and some things you need to know about getting in and out of there through the valley. So this is the Coachella Valley essentially, and it's located in, of course, Southern California, and it is home to 9 major cities: Palm Springs, Desert Hot Springs, Cathedral City, Rancho Mirage, Palm Desert, Indian Wells, La Quinta, Indio, and Coachella. According to the 2020 census, the combined population of these 9 cities is about 370,000, but the total population of the valley, including unincorporated areas and seasonal residents, often exceeds 600,000. A lot of people come in here to enjoy the sunshine. Those are, of course, in the peak winter months. Out here in July and August, you need to find a big rock because it gets pretty hot. But a lot of pools, a lot of fun things to do. State projections estimate the population will surpass 1 million by 2066. I have 20 must-see locations I thought I'd share with you today to include on the map tour, covering all 9 cities and highlighting famous landmarks, cultural sites, natural attractions, and key infrastructure. Let's start with Palm Springs International Airport. If I can bring this in a little bit. That is right here. And it is, Palm Springs, of course, has got a sign, "Welcome to the Hollywood of the Desert." Step off the plane and into sunshine, palm trees, and the kind of mountain views that make you forget about your lost luggage. Palm Springs Aerial Tramway up here, really nice. The base camp is about 2,600 feet, so it does get snow down there. And about a 15-minute ride, you're at the top at 8,500 feet, where you can find a lot of trails. It's the world's largest rotating tram car where the temperature drops, the views soar, and your Instagram followers get instantly jealous. The views are spectacular. Proceeding a little bit south of Palm Springs, we go down here to Indian Canyons, the Agua Caliente Reservation. In Indian Canyons, you can hike through ancient palm oasis where the Agua Caliente once lived. Of course, watch for lizards, waterfalls, and the occasional hiker who forgot their sunscreen. Agua Caliente Cultural Museum shows a fascinating world of the Cahuilla people. You may leave smarter and with a sudden urge to buy local art. So as we leave Indian Palms, we're going to proceed north to Desert Hot Springs. Of course, north of the 10, this is the main thoroughfare through the valley, which is about, 60 miles across, and then it turns into the 86 to go down by Salton Sea, but that's the main thoroughfare through the valley, and of course it comes all the way from Los Angeles. But anyway, Desert Hot Springs Resort, you can soak your worries away with mineral-rich waters. These spas are famous for healing everything. I went there as a kid with my mom and dad. Kind of interesting. There's a couple of spas right here downtown. There's a number of beautiful spas, very reasonably priced, a couple of good golf courses, and a beautiful view of the valley. There's quite an altitude increase from here up into Desert Hot Springs, going up Palm Drive right here. You might want to check out Cabot's Pueblo Museum in Desert Hot Springs. It's a hand-built Hopi-inspired mansion. It's like stepping into an Old West movie, minus the tumbleweeds and dramatic showdowns. Let's tour from Desert Hot Springs down to Cathedral City. So we're gonna go here from Desert Hot Springs right here, and we're gonna go down into Cathedral City. Cathedral City, they have a hot air balloon festival. Look up in the sky and it's full of balloons, colors, and probably a few people wondering how they got talked into this. Don't forget your camera or your sense of adventure. It is absolutely spectacular. There are hundreds of balloons that make this festival. It's absolutely beautiful. Hope there's no major wind at the time. So we'll cruise from Cathedral City and may take scenic 111, or you could take the 10, as I told you earlier, to the city of Indio, and they have the Coachella Valley History Museum. And you can travel back in time, no DeLorean required. Learn about the valley's roots from date palms to date shakes, and they are really good. They're in Indio, of course, is Shield's Date Farm, where they give you a video on the sex life of a date. And believe it or not, they do have to be fertilized to produce. But Indio is the largest city in all the group, of over 90,000 people in that city right now. And of course, you know that Indio is home to the Coachella Music Festival and Stagecoach, and that's all right here, just a little bit away from downtown. Gets a little busy with 130,000 people coming in on the weekend to see all the really great music talent. And it's over 400 acres that they convert to parking, food outlets, and stages. They have 6 live stages, and you have to bring your walking shoes on this one. But it's quite an event, and because of the money generated, the city of Indio's doing some breathtaking renovation, and it's going to be quite a place, I predict, in a few years. Also, they have a lot of horse-related activities out here in the valley. I'm sure if you're an equestrian fan, you've probably heard about all of the events they have in early January. They have over 30,000 horses, I believe, that come down here to compete, the jumpers, and that is located, the horse grounds are right over here by the Jacqueline Cochran International Airport, and they have a lot of events right in there. And they don't just let anybody in there because the horses are so expensive. Quite a display. So now we're gonna head back west over to Old Town La Quinta. Really great spot. La Quinta, of course, is one of my favorite places down here, along with a lot of others. But they have in Old Town, you can walk to a dozen different restaurants. They're all located right here. Arnold Palmer's, wonderful. Stuffed Pizza, the Lavender Bistro, an elegant dining experience. Enzo's, great happy hour. There's a lot of good places down here to eat, that's for sure. But it's perfect for a stroll. Cobblestone streets, twinkling lights, and a lot more boutique shops than you can shake a sun hat at. Perfect for a stroll, a selfie, and some serious window shopping. The La Quinta Resort and Club is where old Hollywood glamour meets modern luxury, and that is right here. Beautiful, old Spanish mission style, and if these walls could talk in that location, they'd probably ask for your autograph. Now, you've probably heard of El Paseo, or the El Rodeo of the desert, the small El Rodeo. And that is right there. And it's not a real inexpensive place to go. A lot of luxury, fine art, wonderful clothing stores, and that's why they call it the Rodeo Drive of the desert. You can shop till you drop, then revive yourself with a latte and some serious people watching. In fact, I saw on his bike, when I was driving through on El Paseo, I looked up and to my right on his bicycle was Don Henley. So that's the kind of fun to be able to see people. I didn't stop and get his autograph. That's one thing I'm a little bit disappointed about. Right up the street from El Paseo on Portola is the Living Desert Zoo and Gardens. You see giraffes, cheetahs, and more without leaving the desert. Don't challenge the meerkats to a staring contest. You'll lose. From here, we'll shoot over to the Indian Wells Tennis Gardens. Every year they have the top tennis pros in the world come here. This tournament, the BNP tournament, is I think rated number 5 after the Masters tournaments for tennis. All the pros come up there. Of course, they serve up aces, and the only thing hotter than the matches is their desert sun. Bring your hat and your best game face, and good hiking shoes for that also. Another place you may want to for sure see is, of course, we're down here in La Quinta, and we're going to want to go up here to Sunnylands estate of Annenberg, and he used to have all the presidents there visit all the time. In fact, President Xi and Obama, everybody goes there. It's a beautiful property, and it's well worth the tour cost to go see it. They call it the Camp David of the West, where presidents, royalty, and maybe even your neighbor's cousin have mingled. The gardens are so pretty, you'll forget you're learning history. There's also in Rancho Mirage the Wine and Food Festival. Sip, savor, and sample your way through the valley's best. It may cause spontaneous dancing and declarations of "this is the best thing I've ever tasted." In fact, they just had an event where 125 restaurants got together at the Ritz-Carlton, which is right up the street off Frank Sinatra here. And all the restaurants displayed their finest dish for everybody to take a shot at. So there it is. So after you've taken the quick tour of Sunnylands and maybe sampled a bunch of food from the Ritz-Carlton, head back down right next to where the horse event center is, and you have Jacqueline Cochran Airport. She was a trailblazing aviator, and this is the airport where the private jets land and where you can pretend you're on your way to a secret desert rendezvous. So you probably can plan your trip a little better than I'm showing you to save gas, because everything's at least 5 miles. Once you get in your car, you can leave the Jacqueline Cochran Airport and cruise up to the private jet runway and go up here to the Coachella Valley Preserve. That was pretty clever, wasn't it? The Coachella Valley Preserve in Thousand Palms. Rare lizards there. If you don't like lizards, don't go. Lush palm oasis and enough hiking trails to justify that extra scoop of date ice cream that you're going to have later. Also, you know, not in the Coachella Valley, but it's a famous locale for stargazing, and that's the Joshua Tree National Park, which is just an hour's drive, the valley, and it's located right up here. The national park is the same size as the state of Rhode Island, so it's quite breathtaking. They have quite a history up there, and they have a lot of big rocks with a lot of names on them. So take your notebook and your camera and enjoy yourself. Beautiful. They rave about how many stars you can see at night, which you can also do in the Cove in La Quinta, and you won't have to drive so far if you're staying in the Coachella Valley. To get a nice view of the entire valley, you can take a drive up 74 right here, and you can see all these turns. Well, right here is a vista point, and you're up a few thousand feet, 3,000 I believe, and you can overlook the entire valley. So it's quite breathtaking, and some people are a little bit apprehensive about the steepness of the road and how it drops off next to the highway. So you don't have a beer or anything. So Coachella Valley Vista Point is worth the drive. Be careful, pull over, roll down the windows, and you can see the entire valley from up there. A view that'll make you say, wow, or at least let's take a selfie. So, as I said, the airport down here is it's going to be one of your favorites because there's not a lot of traffic, easy check-in, easy pickup, and great access. You could come from the north down Gene Autry. You could come up 111 through downtown Palm Springs on Tahquitz. You can come down the freeway if you're down in Indio or the south and come right down Ramon and turn into the airport right here. There's overnight parking, and I believe you get a discount if you're a veteran, and just a very pleasant experience getting in and out of there. Pretty much all the roads lead to the airport. The old main access was coming down the freeway, and you could take Dinah Shore all the way to the airport as well. Or any city, you could come down 111 to Gene Autry from the south and access it that way as well. Very convenient.